Looks like Bruce Springsteen has completely lost it.
To rise with us, raise your voices against authoritarianism, and let freedom ring.
In a recent concert, the rock and roll legend went on an endless rant against President Trump and ended up landing himself in hot water.
His politics are so backwards. I mean, just stay in Europe, Bruce. Have fun.
I love his music, but this is embarrassing. So today we're going to cover this epic drama, but first watch this comment that started the whole fiasco.
In America, they are persecuting people for using their right to free speech and voicing their dissent. This is happening now. In America, the richest men are taking satisfaction in abandoning the world's poorest children to sickness and death. This is happening now. In my country, they're taking sadistic pleasure in the pain that they inflict on loyal American workers. They're rolling back historic civil rights legislation that led to a more just and plural society. They're abandoning our great allies and siding with dictators against those struggling for their freedom.
To give a bit of context, this all went down about a week ago during Springsteen's concert in Manchester, England. The rant lasted for longer than 5 minutes, which was the usual political tirade we've come to expect from someone in the entertainment industry, but the fact that it happened overseas made it even more over the top. As expected, Trump didn't let it slide. He fired back on Truth Social with a post that read, "I see that highly overrated Bruce Springsteen goes to foreign countries to speak badly about the president of the US," adding, quote, "I've never liked him, never liked his music or his radical left politics, and importantly, he's not a talented guy, just a pushy, obnoxious jerk who fervently supported crooked Joe Biden, a mentally incompetent fool, and our worst ever president, who came close to destroying our country," end quote. The president followed up with a meme of himself hitting a golf ball that smacked Springsteen in the back, sending him tumbling, which is peak entertainment. But it didn't end there, as Tommy Lahren shared her 2 cents on Fox and made some very valid points.
And I remember when the Dixie Chicks made that comment about President Bush, and they said that they're embarrassed or they're sorry that the president is from Texas. That effectively ended the Dixie Chicks. They're just the chicks now. They took the Dixie out and solved racism. But I remember that, and I remember when Americans were really fired up about that, when they turned against that, and whether they liked President Bush or not, they did not appreciate that country music stars were disparaging the president. Now, this goes even further than that, obviously. Speaking to a foreign crowd about how you hate your country. But if we cared about the opinions of these celebrities, Kamala Harris would have won. She trotted out every celebrity, and every Democrat candidate before her did the same thing. Hillary, Barack Obama, all of them. Didn't work for Hillary, didn't work for Kamala. It's not going to work to resurrect his career. Again, he's a legend, but a lot of people are not going to take kindly to this.
Exactly. There are clear similarities between Bruce's rants and what happened with the Dixie Chicks years ago. Both incidents took place in the UK and both involved American artists using a foreign stage to take shots at a president. That alone rubs a lot of people the wrong way, and Tommy's absolutely right. If the general public truly cared about what celebrities thought, the past elections would have been very different. Sure, they have every right to speak their mind, it's a God-given right, but the issue that people are having isn't that they express opinions, it's how they're doing it. It's often mixed with a splash of arrogance, as if disagreeing with them makes you beneath them. Now, the best takedown came from Kid Rock, and needless to say, he did not hold back.
If you're going to go on foreign soil and slam the president, slam the country, because you know everyone's going to clap because you're in Europe, Bruce would never do that in Jersey, in upstate New York, anywhere in the United States.
Pound for pound when it comes to heartland rock and roll, Bruce Springsteen's made some good songs. I'll give him that. Bob Seger smokes them any day of the week, in my book. I mean, Bruce Springsteen's another one of these liberals who has mountains of money that so desperately wants to keep his good standing in the eyes of Hollywood and the elite, but plays like this working class guy. You know what I mean? His politics are so backwards. I mean, just stay in Europe, Bruce. Have fun.
Here's another thing that's ironic about this whole situation. Bruce was preaching about protecting free speech in the United States while on stage in the UK. And just to refresh his memory, this is the same country where people have been arrested or fined just for liking or sharing posts on social media. We're not talking about inciting violence or doing anything extreme, just expressing an opinion that the government doesn't deem acceptable. On top of that, their lawmakers are actually entertaining the idea of passing more laws aimed at policing teenage online speech. speech, largely driven by a fictional Netflix show that dramatizes so-called toxic masculinity. That's not standing up for free speech, that is hypocrisy. By the way, notice you haven't liked the video or subscribed to the channel yet, so what are you waiting for? Now, the other important thing, it's going on a political rant during a concert is beyond ridiculous, which is the point Kayleigh McEnany expanded on, so let's hear what she had to say.
And all right, so Kayleigh, let's dig into him too as an individual. So Polestar reporting that in 2024 alone, his tour raked in $251 million, $6 million a night. And he's standing there on the stage lecturing people about the American worker. What petri dish is he from? Because it seems like, to Paul's point, 76 working American people voted in this president who represents them a whole hell of a lot better than Bruce Springsteen does.
That's a great point. So to the exact point you're making, workers of the United States spoke out. Trump transformed the party. He won blue-collar workers. This is something Republicans have failed to do time and time again. So you can stand on a stage with millions of dollars and claim to speak for the workers, but you got a guy sitting at 1600 Pennsylvania who actually did that, got the votes to prove it, and has a movement behind him that Bruce Springsteen is not going to be able to stop.
Yeah.
Yep, the cost of tickets reportedly range between 87 to 410 pounds. Now imagine paying that much money expecting you'll dance and sing along to your favorite songs only to watch the performer give a political take you could have easily found for free on the internet. Does Bruce not realize that not all of his fans are on the left? What if 10% of the festival goers were fans of the US president? What if a good chunk of them were indifferent when it comes to politics? He's just ruining the experience for them. What makes it even worse is that Bruce seems completely unaware or simply doesn't care that not all of his fans lean left. There's a good chance a portion of the crowd actually supports the president that he was bashing, and even some attendees weren't political at all, and that kind of movement kills the vibe. Concerts are meant to bring people together, not push them apart. The whole point is to escape the noise for a few hours, not get dragged back into it with the guy with the mic.
Well, you know, you even see the Hollywood elite kind of being quiet on the whole politics front. There was a time where they would go to the Academy Awards or the Golden Globes, and they would all talk about their politics, which was usually against Donald Trump. Now, if you notice the last Academy Awards season, everybody was very quiet. American audiences have gotten very savvy, maybe because we've been hit over the head with politics for the last few years. But I don't know about you. When I go to be entertained at a concert, I want to be entertained by music, not your politics. And I think that's why he had to do it in a foreign land.
This is exactly what we've been saying for years now. If you're in entertainment, just stick to your trade. The problem is so many celebrities are completely out of touch with reality, still thinking it's 2020 and that bashing Trump earns them automatic applause. But things have changed. The president's currently more popular than ever, and the public's tired of being lectured by people who live in gated mansions and fly private jets. But I'd love to know your thoughts here, so let's get the conversation rolling in the comments down below. And if your friends and family need some very funny and fun takes like this, please share the video with them. It means the world. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.